Okay guys, so this is the May 2018 paper, right? Question 9a. The question is, the diagram below now drawn to scale shows the relative position of three reservoirs B, F and G, all on level ground, right? So B, F and G are on level ground, right? So it means that the point B would be somewhere in front, G would be to the end there, and F would be somewhere in the back here. I don't know if all you could see it properly, but that's just visualize it, right? Remember, it's on the flat ground, right? So we have F, B, and then G somewhere out here, right? The distance BF is equal to 32 kilograms. So BF is 32. The length of this is 32 kilograms. BF is 32 kilometers. We have FG as being 55 kilometers. And the angle BFG, which would be this angle here, BFG is the angle in the middle at F, which is 103 degrees. And F is on a bearing of 0, 4, 2. Now remember, bearings is always the three significant figures, right? So F is on a bearing of 0, 4, 2 degrees from B. So from B, once they say from B, you draw your north arrow at B, right? And they want F from B, so it'd be the angle from this north until we reach the F. So that would be 42 degrees, okay? Part 1, they asked to determine the bearing of B from F. So they want the bearing of B from F. So from F now, we at the point F, right? So we need to draw a north arrow there. Remember, anytime we're dealing with bearings, it's always measured from a north arrow, right? So this is our north arrow here. They want B from F. So from F, we're going all the way around until we reach the B. So what we actually want is the bearing all here, right? Now this is going straight through here. Right? So all we need to do is basically find this angle here and add it to this one here, right? Now we know that BF is a straight line, right? So let me put it in a different color. Right, so this angle here would actually be equal to this angle here if this was a straight line, right? So to get this angle here, it would be, now this was part 1, right? It would be 180 minus 42. I don't know if you could see that here. Right, so it'll be 180 minus 42. This is supposed to give us 138, right? Okay, I am the type of person that would put 1 plus 1 in my calculator just to make sure, right? Right, so we have 138. So it means that this angle here is 138, right? Now we know that our full revolution is 360. So therefore, to find here, we would just add 138 to 103 and then minus it from 360, right? So we have 360 minus 138 plus 103. So this would be 360 minus 138 plus 103 is equal to 241. So therefore, when we minus there, we would get okay, so when we minus there, we would get 360 minus 241, we get 119, right? So they want the bearing of B from F. So we want this here, right? So we found here which was 119. So therefore the bearing would be 119 plus 103. And that's supposed to give us 222. Right? So this is the first part there, right? The bearing of B from F. Okay, the second part, they wanted to calculate the distance BG given your answer to 1 decimal place. So we want the length of the line BG, right? Part 2, right? Now we know, this is not a right angle triangle, right? So therefore we'd have to use either the sine or the cosine rule, right? Now we could use the cosine rule here. The cosine rule, you must have 3 sides in order to use that rule, or you have 2 sides and an angle in between, right? So we would use the cosine rule to find this side here. Now if the angle here is capital F, then the side here would be common F. If here is capital G, then the side opposite would be common G. If here is the angle B, then the side opposite would be common B. Now we want to find F, so F would be the subject of this formula, right? So using the cosine rule, we have that F squared is equal to, now it would be the two sides squared. So we have B and G, right? B squared plus G squared. Then we minus 2 times the length of these two sides. So it would be 2BG cos of what we started with, which is F. Now we know the lengths of B and G, we also know the angle F, right? So we're working down. F squared is equal to, B would be 55 squared plus G is 32 squared minus 2 times 55 by 32 cos of F is 103. We're working again. Now 55 squared is equal to 3025 plus 32 squared is 1024. Now when we minus 2 times 55 times 32, we get negative 3520 cos of 103. Right, next line we have 30 25 plus 10 24, we get 40 49. Now put this in a calculator, right? The entire thing. 35 20 cos 103. Okay, so we get 791.8. Let's round up to 3 decimal places, right? So we'll say 828, right? So therefore F squared, we minus there. So we have 40 49 minus 791.828. We got 3257.172. Therefore F would be the square root of 3257.172. Square root of 3257.172 is equal to, they said the question also 1 decimal place, right? So we had 57 point, all right, it's 57.072. So to 1 decimal place it will be 57.1, right? 57.1, and don't forget the unit, which was kilometers. Yeah, kilometers. So this was that was the length of BG, right? So BG is equal to 57.1 kilometers. Alright, so we have 57.1 kilometers. Okay, that was part 2. Now we want calculate to the nearest degree the bearing of G from B. Alright, so we want G from B. Let me put it in a different color. I'll write it in red. Alright, so from B, we have our north arrow and we want G, right? So we'll start at the north arrow and go all the way until we reach the G. Right? Okay, so we want to find this angle here first, right? And then the bearing would just be this plus that. Oh my god, it's making it so hot. Right. So, we could either use the cosine rule here or we could use the sine rule. Could we? Yeah. So the cosine rule, we must have the 3 sides to use cosine. Or the sine rule, we must have one side, the angle opposite must be unknown, and then the other one we must have the angle and the side. So you could have 2 sides, 1 angle to find 1 unknown angle, right? I am going to erase this, so you all could just pause the video, copy this down, right? So we cool with everything there. Okay, so I'll use the sine rule and then I'll use the cosine rule to find this angle here, right? So this was part 3 we on, right? So if we're using the sine rule, it would be B over sine B equal to F over sine F. Right? Remember, the side will go on top, the angle will go to the bottom, right? So the length of B is 55 sine capital B is what we don't know, right? That's the angle. Equal to F is 57.1 and the angle at F would be 103. So when we reach this point now, what we have to do is cross multiply, right? So 57.1 multiplied by sine B will just give us 57.1 sine B. Then we have 55 by sine 103. Do not make a mistake and multiply this 55 by 103, right? This here is the angle. So if this 55 would multiply by sine 103 itself, because sine 103 is the angle itself, right? So we multiply 55 by that angle. Obviously it will be a very small angle. 55 sine 103. Right? So what we're going to do is make sine be the subject of the formula, right? Now because this 57.1 is being multiplied by sine B, when it goes over the equal sign, it will do the opposite. So what it will do now is divide, right? So on the right hand side, we have 55 sine 103, and what we're bringing across would go to the denominator. Now don't mix it up and put it to the numerator and divide by this, right? This is what we're dividing by, so it go to the denominator. Good. So we have sine B is equal to, now in your calculator type in 55 sine 103 equals, you'll get 53.59 and then divide that answer by 57.1. So we would have 0.9385, so that would be 0.939. And then B now would be the sine inverse of 0.939. So it comes like the same thing. We want to make B the subject now, right? So the opposite of sine would be the sine inverse, right? So when the sine goes across, it becomes the inverse, right? So in a calculator, we second function sine inverse 0.939 equal, we get B as being 69 point, let me put it to one decimal, right? 69.9 degrees. So here work out to be 69.9 degrees. Now pause and write it down, right? I would have to erase this to do the cosine rule, right? So we want to get back 69.9 or something close to that. Okay, so cosine rule. Because we want to find the angle at B, we would start with the side B, right? Because if we start with the side B, then we would be finding the cos of B, and that's the angle that we want, cos B, right? So we have B squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides squared, which is G squared plus F squared minus 2GF cos of capital B. B was 55 squared, G is 32 squared, F is 57.1 squared minus 2 times G is 32 times 57.1 cos B. Okay, so 55 squared is 30, 25, 32 squared is 10, 24, 57.1 squared is 3260.41 minus 2 by 32 times 57.1 would give us 3654.4 cos B. Right. So we have 30, 25 is equal to, let's simplify this here, right? So we have 1024 plus 3260.41. We get 4284.41 minus 3654.4 cos B. Now, notice that we can't add these two terms and then minus this because this is being multiplied by cos B, right? So what we're going to do, next step is, because this is negative, we're going to take this across the equal sign. So because this is negative here, when it comes across, so we'll do the opposite, which is add. So that would be positive then. And this here, because this is positive, when it goes across, it will be negative. So when we bring this across, it goes positive, right? So we'd have 3654.4 cos B is equal to 42, the same thing, 84.41. This is remaining on the right side. And then this is positive, so we carry it across and it will be negative, right? 30, 25. So we have 3654.4 cos B is equal to, we could minus there, right? 4284.41 minus 30, 25. Right, we get 1259.41. So cos B now would be 1259.41. Remember this multiplying, so we'll divide when it come across 3654.4. Cos B is equal to, now divide that there, right? So it's 1259.41 divided by 3654.4. We get 0.345. B would therefore be the cos inverse of 0.345. So B, oh, right, cos inverse of 0.345. We get 69.8. Right, so we get 69.9 with sine and 69.8 with the cos rule, right? Using any one of them, you will get your full marks in the question, right? So the last part was to determine the bearing of G from B, right? So basically all we're doing is adding the 42 plus the 69.9. So 42 plus 69.9 would give us 111.9, and this here is our bearing of G from B. Okay, all right, so I hope all you understand this question. Just look back at it again, go through. Okay, so this is the Jan 2017 paper 10B. So the question: a ship travels from Akron A on a bearing of 30 degrees to Belleville B, 90 kilometers away. Then it travels to Compton C, which is 310 kilometers due east of Akron, as shown in the diagram below. Right, so indicate on the diagram the bearing of 30 degrees and the distance is 90 and 310 kilometers, right? Okay. Alright, so again, a trip travels from Akron on a bearing of 30 to Belleville, right? So from Akron to Belleville, the bearing there is 30, right? Remember, from Akron. So the north arrow is drawn at Akron, and the bearing starts from the north arrow going to B, which is this line here, on a bearing of 030 degrees, right? So that's just 30 degrees. Good. Okay, so it travels from A to B on a bearing of 90 kilometers away. So it means that the distance from A to B would be 90 kilometers. Then it travels to C, which is 310 kilometers due east of Akron. Right, so it means that the distance from Akron to Compton would be 310 kilometers, right? So that we had to put in those three things. That was 2 marks, right? The next part, they say calculate to the nearest kilometer the distance between Belleville and Compton, right? So all they want basically is this distance here, right? Okay. So they say that C is due 310 kilometers east from Akron, right? Now that would form a right angle triangle because this is our north here, right? A is at this point, so directly east would give you a 90-degree angle, right? So if here is 90 degrees, then it means that the angle here would be 60 degrees. Yeah. Good. So now that we have the angle in between and we have 2 sides, we would have to use the cosine rule to find this side, right? So let's label our sides. Capital A, so the side would be A, B, then here would be C. We want to find A, so A would be the subject of the formula, right? Part 1 was just a label. Right, so we'd have A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2 times these cos of the angle E, right? That's what we know, which is 60. So A squared is equal to B squared would be 310 squared plus C is 90 minus 2 by 310 by 90 cos of E, which is 60. Right, so A squared, calculator. 310 squared would give us 96,100 plus 90 squared would give us 8,100. 2 times 310 times 90 is 55,800 cos 60. This in brackets, right? It multiply. So 96,100 plus 8,100 would give us 104,200 minus 55,800 cos of 60 is 27,900. So a squared is equal to 104,200 minus 27,900. Right, so we have 76,300. So a would then be the square root of 76,300, which is 276, let's say 0.2 kilometers, right? Let me see. Okay, so the question asks the nearest kilometer, so it will just be 276 kilometers, right? Now, that is pretty straightforward there, right? If here is 310, here is 90, if we estimate that 276 is reasonable, right? The third part, they say calculate to the nearest degree the measure of ABC. So the letter in the middle is always the angle they want, right? So ABC. This is how they wrote it. ABC and the angle on top there, right? So they want the angle at B. So the triangle ABC, what we really want is this angle here, right? So we could use the cosine rule or the sine rule in this case, right? Because we know that A is 276 kilometers. If we're using the sine rule, it will be A over sine A equal to B, which is here, over sine B, and we'll be able to find this side here. If it was the cosine rule, what we could do is, because we have the three sides, we could use A squared is equal to B squared is equal to C squared minus 2. Sorry. If it's the cosine rule, we'd have to make B the subject because we want cos B in the equation, right? So we'd make B the subject. So it'd be B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B, and we'll be able to find for B. Yeah. Alright, so I'll do it the two ways, okay? Alright, I'll do the sine rule at the bottom here, and then I'll do cos on top of there, right? So sine rule will be A over sine A equal to B over sine B, right? Small a is the side, so we have 276 over sine of A is 60 degrees equal to B is 310, and we want to find the angle at B. So we cross multiply here. 276 by sine B would give us 276 sine B. Always try to get the unknown on the left hand side, right? Now if we had do it the other way and we multiply 310 by sine 60, we would have had 310 sine 60, which is equal to 276 by sine B. So 276 sine B, right? From this point, because we have the sine B on this side, if this is equal to this, then this is equal to this. So we could just write back 276 sine B is equal to, when we multiply here, we'd get 310 sine 60. Now it's the same thing, right? But just keep it simple, don't confuse yourself. Our next step, sine B would be equal to 310 sine 60 all over 276. So 310 sine 60 is equal to 268.46. Then we divide that by 276. So sine B is equal to 0.973. Right? Let me just go on the right here. So B would then be the sine inverse of 0.973. So B is equal to the sine inverse of 0.973. which is 76 point, let's say 76.7, right, to 1 decimal place. Now let us use the cosine rule. Right, so we want to find the angle at B, right? So we make B the subject. So we have B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2 times these cos of the right, so B is 310, A is 276, C is 90, minus 2 by 276 by 90 cos of B. That's what we want to find. Okay, 310 squared is 96 100 minus 276 squared is 76 176 plus 90 squared is 8100, right? 2 times 276 times 90 is 49 680 cos B. So we have 96 100 equal to, let's simplify this, 76 176 plus 8100 is 84 276 minus 49680 cos B. Now because this is negative, let's take it to the left hand side, right? So we'll get positive 49680 cos B. This remains on the right, so we have 84 276. When this goes across, it will become negative, minus 96 100 okay, cos B is equal to 84 276 minus 96 100. We get negative 11824 over, alright, let me put this here, right? We simplify, we get that, right? Next line now, I will take that across, so it'll be negative 11824 over 49680. I'm just going to erase this part right here, right? Now, we know that we got that with the sine rule. So cos B is equal to, now negative 11824 divided by 49680 would give us negative 0238. So B would be the cos inverse. Forget the negative sign for now, right? Just take the positive of it, right? So the cos inverse of 0.238 is equal to 76.2 degrees. Now cos is like a weird function, right? So if we find the cos inverse of negative 0.238, we'd get 103.76. So this is more advanced thing with reference angle and all of that, right? But anytime you have cos, they give you negative, just ignore the negative sign and just find the positive, the inverse of the positive number, right? So we get 76.2 with the cos rule, we get 76.7 with the sine rule. Now it's just off by 0.5, right? So any rule that you use, you would still get your full marks, right? So since we get B is 76.2 here and 76.7, whichever rule you use, your angle ABC is just equal to that, right? So it's 76.2 or 76.7, whichever rule you choose to use. Alright, so this was actually part 3, by the way. Sorry, I just forgot to label it, right? I had it at the bottom there. So this was part 3. Part 4, they wanted us to determine the bearing of Compton from Belleville. Okay, so we at Belleville right now, right? So we want Compton from Belleville. So from Belleville, they want from the north arrow going down until we reach to Compton. So we want this angle. Now we found this angle B, right? Which was, let me say 76.2 we working with, right? By the way, for this one, they ask for to the nearest degree, right? Now remember, if we had 76.2, then when we round this, we would have gotten 76. And if we use 76.7, when we round it off, we get 77, right? So let me just go with 76 for now, right? Okay, so to the nearest degree, we're using it as 76, right? Now, for this part here, we know that this is a straight line, right? So this angle would be equal to this angle here, right? So 180 minus 30 will give us 150. So if here is 150, then it means that here must be 150 as well, right? And then we'll be able to find that angle there, right? So let me just do it on top here, right? So it'll be 360 minus 150 plus 76. So 150 minus 150 plus 76 is supposed to be 226. Yes, it is. Right, and when we minus it from 360, we would get 134 degrees. So it means that this angle here is 134, and that would also be our bearing of C from B, right? So this is our answer here. Now, remember that bearings is always the three significant figures, right? So let me just say we found this angle, just saying, we found this angle to be 34 degrees. The bearing would actually be 0, 3, 4, because it must be three significant figures, right? So that was just something to note, right? And that's the end of this question. Okay, so we're looking at the May 2017 paper, right? Number 10, part B. A ship leaves port A and sails 52 kilometers on a bearing of 044 degrees to port B. The ship then changes course to sail to port C 72 kilometers away on a bearing of 105 degrees. Part 1. On the diagram below, not drawn to scale, label the known distances traveled and the known angles, right? So part 1, they want us to label. I'll put it in blue, okay? So the ship leaves port A, we here, and sails 52 kilometers on a bearing of 44 degrees to port B. So it's leaving from A to go to B, and that distance is 52 kilometers, right? And they say on a bearing of 044. So from a north arrow, from A to B, we start at the north arrow and we go into the line where B is formed. That would be 44 degrees, right? The ship then changes course to sail to port C. So from B, it's changing course to sail to C, which is 72 kilometers away from B, right? On a bearing of 105. So from B, we go into C. So we start on the north arrow and we go into the line where C is. So that would be 105 degrees. Let me just put back that here is the point B, right? Good. So that was 2 marks, right? Part 2, they say determine the measure of angle ABC. Now, alright, it's in blue. So they want the angle of ABC. Now, this one, they write the angle different, right? Angle ABC is still the angle in the middle, right? So they want the angle, this angle here now, right? Because it's ABC, so they want this angle there. Now, similarly, if we extend this line, this angle would be equal to this angle here. And to get this angle is just 180 minus 44, which is 136. So therefore here would be 136 as well. And to find that angle would be 360 minus 136 plus 105. 136 plus 105, we get 241. And then we minus that, we get 119 degrees. So this angle here is 119 degrees. Good. That alone was 2 marks, right? Calculate the nearest kilometer, the distance AC. Right, so we want this here, right? So 2 sides, angle in between, we're using the cosine rule, right? So part 3. Now if here is B, here would be common B. If here is A, here would be common A. Here is C, the side opposite would be common C. We want to find B, so B would be the subject. Also, we also have the angle B, which will end the equation, right? So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos of B. We're replacing the values now. So A is 72 squared, C is 52 squared minus 2 by 72 by 52 cos of 119 degrees. So B squared is equal to 72 squared is 5184 plus 52 squared is 2704 minus 2 by 72 by 52 is equal to 7488 cos of 119. Get it? Huh? No? Good night. So B squared is equal to, when we add this here, we have 5184 plus 2704. So we have 7888 minus, when we find that there, so just put in the calculator, right? 7488 cos 119 is equal to, okay, so this itself when we put it into the calculator would give us a negative figure, right? So we'd have negative 3630.25. So B squared is equal to, now we know a negative and a negative will give us a positive, right? Because it come like negative 1 multiplied by negative this, so that would give us a positive. So it's 7888 plus 3630.25. B squared is equal to 7888 plus 3630.25. We get 11518.25. B would then be the square root of 11518.25, which is equal to 11518.25. 107, they said to the nearest kilometers, right? So it'd be 107 kilometers. Right? So we could replace this here, right? This would be 107 kilometers. Okay, so the part 4, they said that show that the bearing of A from C to the nearest degree is 260 degrees. So we want the bearing of A from C, right? So from C, now the north arrow a little to the left, right? But just picture it straight, right? So from C, we starting at the north arrow and we're going all the way until we reach the line with A. So they want A from C. So we want this entire thing here. Okay. Alright. So we okay, let me just take off this 136 here to make things a little less confusing, right? Now if we extend this line here, right, this angle form here supposed to be the same size of this angle here. So 180 minus 105 would give us 75 degrees. Therefore here would be 75 degrees, right? Now if we know that here is 75 degrees, we could use the sine or the cosine rule to find this angle here, and then we could just add these two angles and minus it from 360 to get this angle here, right? Now I will use the sine rule. I'll write the cosine rule. You could try it, verify that you get 260, right? Because that's what we want to prove. Okay, so we want, I'll do it in green. So we want, no, can't do it in green, I'll do it in black. We want this angle here, right? So this angle here is C, okay? So using the sine rule, this was part 4, I believe. Yeah, using the sine rule, we'd have C over sine C is equal to, we need to use, because we don't know what the angle at C is, the next thing that we're using, we need to know the side and the angle for. If we want to use A, we have the side A, but we don't have the angle A. So we can't use A, we'd have to use B. So it would be B over sine B. C is equal to 52 sine C B is 107 and the angle at B is 190. So when we cross multiply, we'll have 107 sine C, right? There's 107 by sine C and then 52 by this. So it's 52 sine 190. So sine C is equal to 52 sine 119 divided by 107. Sine C is equal to, calculator, 52 sine 119 equal, divided by 107. We have 0.425. C would then be the sine inverse of 0.425. What did they say? Alright, they said to the nearest degree, right? So let me do it as 25 degrees. Right, so now that we found this to be 25, right? So we add in and subtracting from 360, right? So 360 is the full revolution. We minus in this here. So we have 75 plus 25. We know that that would give us 100. And we minus there, we get 260, and this is what we want you to prove, right? Okay, so let me just write down the formula for pause and take down your notes. I'm gonna write down the formula if we had to use the cosine rule. Okay. Okay, so we wanted to find the value at C, right? So we make C the subject, right? So we have C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2 times this cos of C. So C squared was 52 squared, A is 72, and B is 107 squared minus 2 by 72 by 107. Okay, I'll have to erase this here, right? Cos C. So 52 squared is 2704. 72 squared, 72 squared is 5184 plus 107 squared is 11449 minus 2 times 72 times 107 would give us 15408 cos C. Right, so 2704 equals, when we add this here, 5184 plus 11449 would give us 16633 minus 15408 cos C. Now we're taking this across the left hand side. So it'll be 15408 cos C is equal to 16633. When this go across, it will minus. So we get 2704. 15408 cos C is equal to, when we minus there, we would get 13929. So cos C is equal to 13929 divided by 15408. So this is 0.904. C would then be the cos inverse of 0.904. So we have 25, sorry. Good, so same thing again. So we proved that this is this, right? So when we add that, we get 100 and minus it from our full revolution, 260, we get that it is 260. Now I'll post the 3 questions in a document so that you could follow up with it, right? But that's about it. Now feel free to do any variance question and just send to me and I could just double check it, right? Something to note, when you're doing your sine and cosine rule, write down the formula so that you don't mix it up and just keep substituting and simplifying and solving it so that if you make any mistake in between, you will still get some marks, right? But once you do everything, now you can see that the questions are very similar. It's like the same thing over and over, right? Hope that this video helps.